All right. Without any further ado, our first installment. I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this for days. Let's bring him in. Check him out. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Ross, how are you, my friend? It's so good to hear from you.
So good to see you and hear from you, Sam. It's been a long time. I'm so glad to hear that you're back on radio again after a little bit of a hiatus, and the station is lucky to have you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm lucky to have them. This was a blessing for sure, and excited and ready to roll. I reached out to you a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. And I'm like, hey man, we gotta make this happen again, and here you are. And Ross gets it done. Wagertalk.com. That's wagertalk.com. You do it all, Ross, but we have you on here for football, and you're going to be with us every Thursday, hopefully up until the Super Bowl, and kind of give us a little refresh, wagertalk.com and Ross Benjamin and what's been happening in your world, and what are we looking forward to not only today, but for the next weeks and months coming up.
Well, prior to me coming on with you today, when I was on with you in previous years, I was independent, but signed a contract with Wager Talk Media, which is based out of Las Vegas, and it's the best thing I did since I've been in this industry for over 20 years now. Great group of handicappers over at the site, 35 of us, including me. Mm-hmm. And also, some very good personnel and customer service, which is important, right? So when people have a problem, it's not the onus of responsibility isn't on me to contact customer support, and that's their job. And it certainly overall has freed me up to do what I do best, Sam, and that's handicap, whether it be football, basketball, or baseball. So,
you're on quite a run now with baseball. My gosh, number one this year in Major League Baseball, currently on a run of 91-61. That's good for 60%. You're the 2023 Playbook Football Wise Guy Contest winner, and me knowing you and having you on before, when I was up in Akron, we had you on a lot, and you were knocking it out of the park, and you were splitting the uprights on all your picks, and I know a lot of folks enjoyed them, and we're all very happy to have you back here on 1310 WDPN and all across our social media platforms. If you're listening right now, you can also pull us up on video and watch us on the WDPN Facebook page, our X page, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. We are all over, and happy to have Ross Benjamin with us here, wagertalk.com. All right, my man, Saturday. Very limited slate. We got a couple of games we want to take a look at, and I know you're excited about the Cy-Hawk game, Iowa State and Iowa. And, of course, we're excited here, too, because Matt Campbell, graduate of Mount Union, played here and is now doing a great job with the Cyclone football program. Obviously, we're pulling for them. But Iowa State, Ross, what do we see?
Yeah, this is a great rivalry. Iowa is sort of owned Iowa State, especially in the games played in Ames. Iowa's won the last 6 times they played in Ames, Iowa, the home field of the Iowa State Cyclones. But Iowa is playing with a little bit of revenge after that heartbreaking loss last year, 20-19 at home. So a lot of things favor Iowa in this situation. First year offensive coordinator, or I should say second-year offensive coordinator, Tim Lester, has made a world of difference for Iowa. Last year, in his first year at the helm, taking over for the coach's son, who should have been fired many, many times, he improved the Iowa offense by 13 points and 108 yards per game. So Iowa's not that boring team that we saw in years past. They're not dynamic yet, but they're certainly a lot better offensively, and takes a lot of pressure off their defense as they've been in recent seasons. I also like the addition of former South Dakota State quarterback Mark Gronkowski, who comes in for his senior year after spending the last 3 years as a starter for South Dakota State. During that reign, he won 2 national championships at the FCS level. So, yes, he's stepping up in class, but this guy's a winner. He's gone 49-6 in his college football starts. So Iowa State off to a good start, 2-0. But you know, that win at Kansas State, or against Kansas State, I should say, in Dublin, Ireland, so good now, Sam. You know, when you stop and think of the fact that Kansas State needed a last-minute touchdown to beat North Dakota last week. So, you know, so I'm going to take Iowa here. I mean, they've gone up to 3.5 now. Iowa State is the ranked team. On paper, they should be better. But, you know, this series seems to always play real close games. And I think Iowa is much better than people think right now. And I'm going to take the Hawkeyes here, plus 3.5 on the road to continue their success in Ames, Iowa.
All right, so Ross likes Iowa, and I'll tell you what, the experts believe this might be a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a snoozer, but what, about 41 and a half?
Yeah, it's actually high for an Iowa game. You know, in recent seasons, they've been in the 30s, you know. So.
I know. Oh,
yeah.
They're hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Ross Benjamin is our guest, wagertalk.com. Also, he has got a great Thursday night NFL winning total. You can check that out, wagertalk.com. And there's a game on ESPN2 Friday night, James Madison and Louisville. And Ross has got some good stuff there for you as well. Wagertalk.com. Check him out, Ross Benjamin. All right, again, limited college slate, but a couple more just to give us a little look at it. We'll roll into the pros, Ross. Prime timer Saturday night could be a good game. Michigan and Oklahoma. What do you see?
You know, I really like this Oklahoma quarterback, Sam, and it makes you sit up and pay attention when you see Oklahoma as a 5-point favorite against Michigan after they were just 6-7 a year ago. Whole different Sooner team with John Mateer is his name. He's a transfer from Washington State. Last year, he had a fabulous year at Washington State, throwing for 29 touchdowns, running for 15 touchdowns, throwing for 3,400 yards, running for over 800 yards. And again, you're looking at Michigan starting a true freshman at quarterback. Now, he looked real good last week in the season opener against New Mexico. Okay, but now you're going on the road in a tough environment in Norman and making your first college football start on the road as an 18-year-old. So I like Oklahoma here. I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma in this game. I just think this line speaks volumes to me, and I like our edge at quarterback.
So Oklahoma going to lay the points against Michigan on Saturday night. Now, also Saturday, there's a game out west, UCLA and UNLV. And UNLV's coach bolted, took another job over the past year, and now Dan Mullen is back coaching again. UNLV, so far so good for them. But here come the Bruins. UCLA catching 2.5 at UNLV coming up Saturday night. What do you see there between UNLV and UCLA?
I see, as Colonel Klink used to say in Hogan's Hero, I see nothing. So the bottom line is UNLV, I mean, they struggled in their opener against an FCS team. They look really good last week. UCLA got blown out last week at home against Utah. I don't know. It's the line is where it's supposed to be, and I just can't pull the trigger either way, Sam. I think there's a lot better value on the board in this game. This is one of those watch and see, and it might be one of those pivotal games for both teams to see where their season's going to go.
Yeah, I would agree, and I got all caught up in the Dan Mullen hype coming back to UNLV, and they were laying a huge number in their opener against Idaho State and almost got beat at home. Yeah. They ended up winning 38-31, so that was a little bit of a disappointment there. All right, Ross Benjamin is our guest. He'll be with us every Thursday throughout the football season. Wagertalk.com. Check them out right now. Wagertalk.com. All right, Thursday night, it's time, Ross. The season kicks off in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia and Dallas. Always a lot of storylines in this baby. 7.5 is the number. Philly laying it at home against America's team.
Yeah, and this is a game I'm not going to elaborate on because I have a pick for sale on this game tonight. And you can get that, folks, even easier than wagertalk.com is my personal link, wt.buzz WT.buzz/RB, like Ross Benjamin, WT.buzz/RB. So, Sam, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this is one I got up for sale tonight. And I'd love to talk about it, but I can't.
You got it. WT.buzz/RB to get the winner tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of it, I've forgotten that there's actually a game on Friday. And I think I don't know. They're playing it in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Chargers and the Chiefs. And first of all, before we even talk about that, Ross, does Kansas City have it in them again to make that run to another Lombardi Trophy? Can they make a run again this year?
Well, they're going to have some awful stiff competition. Two of the teams that play on Sunday night start with them, Buffalo and Baltimore. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. And then I think Cincinnati's going to be a major player before it's all said and done. So I don't think it's going to be as easy a ride as they've had in years past, but how could you count them out, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's as long as Patrick Mahomes is under center, you always got a chance. But, in this particular matchup against the Chargers, they're -3. I've seen a lot of people comment on this game this week, and everybody wants to find reasons to go against Kansas City. And I get it. You're sort of sick of them winning so much.
We're chiefed out.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, they've gone 7-0 in their last 7 meetings against the LA Chargers. And the Chargers, since 2023, are 0-7 straight up in ATS as an underdog of between 1.5 and 4 points. So within this point spread parameter, they failed miserably. And how do you go against Andy Reid in a season opener? Since he's been with Kansas City over the last 10 season openers, the Chiefs are 9-1 straight up and 7-3 against the spread in those games. And if those games were not played at Arrowhead Stadium, there was 5 times that occurred in the last 10 years. In those openers, they went 5-0 straight up in ATS, winning by just a shade under 14 points per game. Since 2019, Andy Reid, 5-0 straight up in ATS is a favorite or underdog of 3 or less in games 1 through 9 of the season. So again, early on, when he's in this point spread parameter, the Chiefs have fared awfully well. Since 2023, the Chiefs are 6-0 straight up in ATS as a favorite of 4 or less in games not played at Arrowhead. The list goes on with their accomplishments and their success over the last few years. And I'd like to put a spin on, I know I heard a lot of people like the Chargers, and the reasons why is, almost like when you're dead wrong in an argument with your wife, but you're trying to spin it and spin it and spin it. And it just, it doesn't fly. So I'm going to take Kansas City here. I know it's a boring pick, but I'm going to go with, I'm out to make money, and I like the Chiefs here as a small favorite of -3 at Corinthians Arena. Sounds like a bullfight.
It does. I can't hardly wait to see what this turns out to be. Pretty high total here too. We'll see how that plays out. Right now it's 46.5. Ross Benjamin, our guest, wagertalk.com. Again, if you want to get his picks, a direct link, WT.buzz/RB. All right, Ross. We're all ready for the Battle of Ohio, Part 1, the Bengals and the Browns at Huntington Bank Field on Sunday. Holy smokes, Cincinnati -5.5. The total is climbing to 47.5. What say you on this extravaganza Sunday?
What's a show with you without discussing the Browns, right? So we'll get to the other part of that equation at the end here. But look, here's good news for Cleveland fans. Since 2012, division dogs in game 1, like the Browns are, 19-4 against the spread and 13-8-2 straight up. Yes, there's been 2 ties, and Browns fans probably remember that tie against Pittsburgh in the season opener, a game they should have won. I think they missed 2 field goals in overtime. Anyway, and if a team has won 7 or less the year before as a division dog in their season opener, they improved to not only 19-4 ATS, but they go to 16-2 against the spread. So a really good spot based on NFL betting history and season openers for division dogs. The Browns, 4-1 straight up, and ATS is the division dog, division home dog since 2022. So, I mean, they fared good in these situations, even with their struggles. And two of those wins came over these very same Cincinnati Bengals. They missed against the Bengals last year. That was their only loss as an underdog, division underdog at home. Since 2022, they lost 21-14 as a 5-point dog. So they were right there, Sam. Mm-hmm. And for more information, just to throw that out there, the Browns have gone over the total in their last 6 season or home openers, and 9 of their last 11 home openers. So whatever that total is in the Browns home openers, they've exceeded it at a regular pace over the years. So just something to keep in mind there. But, my play here, and again, it's not a game that I'm going to be selling on Sunday, but I have a strong opinion here is take the Browns here, plus the 5 against Cincinnati. And like I used to tell you before, when we were on the Cleveland Browns, give me the damn Browns, Sam.
Just give me the damn Browns. I love it. The total going up as we speak, Ross. I'm seeing a couple of 48s and a couple of 48 and a halves. I think this thing flies. I think this game might be in the 70s for the total Sunday. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Ross Benjamin.
What's the story with Cleveland? I know, and I need to interject here just for a second, if you don't mind, Sam. But with the quarterback situation in Cleveland, I hear a lot of rumblings, the decision to go with Joe Flacco. But, the bottom line is he gives them the best chance to win right now.
Absolutely.
And I think Browns fans lose conception in the national media as well. Everybody wants to see Shedeur Sanders. Everybody wants to see Dylan Gabriel, and they'll get their turn eventually. In Sanders' case, I don't know where it will be, but he'll get his turn. But right now, I think the decision to go with Flacco at this point is not a great one, but it's their best option.
I agree. We just want to see some wins, Ross. We just want to see some wins. Ross Benjamin, our guest, wagertalk.com. Again, if you want a direct link to any of his picks, wt.buzz/RB. That'll get you right to his winning picks with Ross Benjamin. All right. Ravens and Bills. This is a great Sunday night game, Ross. I love Baltimore as far as a play. I hate the Ravens, being a Browns fan. What are your thoughts? Give us some nuggets on Baltimore and Buffalo Sunday night.
Well, emotionally, Baltimore has a huge edge here. I mean, you got the whole Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, and why Josh Allen won the MVP over Jackson last year when the numbers might have indicated otherwise. You have the revenge factor for the Baltimore Ravens, who lost that heartbreaking 2-point game in the playoffs last year when Mark Andrews dropped that 2-point conversion that would have tied the game. Buffalo's won 3 of the last 4. They've knocked the Ravens out of the playoffs twice in the last 4 years. So Baltimore has all the edge when it comes to emotion here. And this is a stacked Baltimore team. It's going to be a really good Baltimore team. But however, the numbers don't lie. Buffalo has won 11 straight regular season home games, 18 of their last 19 and 24 of their last 26 regular season home games. It's hard to fade a team at an even number with that in mind. So I'm not crazy about this game. I'm going to be enthralled when I watch it. I'm looking forward to watching it. But as far as betting it, I think there's too many things that cancel themselves out. It's a really high total. I could tell you that for a season opener in the 50s. And that's come down. It went from 52 down to 50.5 now. And that's customary. A lot of people will automatically, when they see a total of 50 or greater in a season opener, will bet under with a no-brainer concept. So, again, it's a tough one, Sam. But if you put the proverbial gun to my head, I like the Bills' home field advantage here is going to be the difference.
Interesting. There's been some movement here, too. I'm seeing now the Ravens between a 1 and a 1.5 point favorite now. Earlier on, Buffalo was the favorite. So now they're a dog, and they could be very dangerous, as they always are. Ross Benjamin is our guest. He'll be with us all season long right here, AM 1310 WDPN. Check him out, wagertalk.com. That's wagertalk.com. And if you want to go right to his winning picks, WT.buzz/RB. That's where it's at. Ross, a final word of wisdom before we depart in our first visit here for the 2025 season.
The college football card is very unappealing this week. So just because there's a lot of games doesn't mean you have to make a lot of bets. Be selective. I'm going to have a 5% best bet play for you in college football. Those of you who were with me last week, well, some of you out there weren't with me. So let me refresh what happened. Last Saturday, I had the LSU Tigers +4 outright over Clemson as a 5% best bet. My college football, Sam, #1 last year in both win percentage and units earned, and also over the last 2 college football seasons, #1. Sam mentioned Major League Baseball, #1. And NFL, we're ready to go, man. I kill it in September. If you're ever going to catch the books, the sports books I'm referring to, with soft lines, it's early in the NFL season, specifically so in the month of September, because a lot of these lines are based on projection and perception, and some of them might be off just a little bit. Otherwise, don't think you're smarter than the bookmaker or odds makers, because you're not. Okay. Yeah. If anything, respect the odds makers. Don't fear them, but listen to what they're trying to tell you. So it sounds contradictory to what I just said in the month of September, but take the whole package and blend it in.
There you go. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com. And again, go right to his winning selections, WT.buzz/RB. He's got a great pick for you tonight. The Eagles Cowboys on the total. And of course, James Madison Louisville on ESPN2 tomorrow night. You can get those picks at WT.buzz/RB. Ross, your first one out of the gate. You knocked it out of the park again. Can't wait to do it again next Thursday at 4:35. Have a great and winning weekend. Ross, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you having me, and look forward to next week.
There he goes. Ross Benjamin from wagertalk.com.